Hi, I'm Paul, the Running Shoe Guru. This is Marathon Handbook, and this is my look at the top men's road running shoes of 2023. So we've split the categories into neutral training shoes, support or control type shoes, road racing shoes, the best value shoes, and also a new category that's kind of emerged to the forefront in 2023, the massive rise in popularity of carbon-plated trainers, what I'm calling super trainers. We've got the Saucony Kinvara Pro. You can see I have put quite a few miles on them and they've picked up quite a bit of wear. And I think that's testament to show you how much I've used them, but also how much I like them. As a daily training shoe, this does offer a lot. We've got great cushioning. We've got responsive cushioning. We've got a 3/4 length carbon plate in there. So you've got the energized responsive feel of the racing shoe, the Endorphin Pro and the Endorphin Elite, a little bit of a sprinkle of both almost mixed in here. But we've got a wider base, we've got a max stack height, and it is a very stable shoe. Certainly for one that offers this level of throw-off of responsiveness. It's £200, $220, weighs in at 269 grams on 9.5 ounces. Stacking the heel is 42 millimeters, 8 millimeter drop down to that 34 millimeters in the forefoot. So a high stack shoe above World Athletics legal limit. Power Run PB is the top layer, and then we've got regular Power Run foam in the bottom layer. So a dual layer construction, Power Run PB, what you might find in the Endorphin Pro and the Endorphin Speed. The Elite has got the Power Run HG foam in it, a lot of Power Runs going on. And then the regular Power Run foam is what you might find in the Saucony Ride and Guide, the daily trainers. So you've got a mixture of the two, and they're sandwiched in a 3/4 carbon plate. Got quite an aggressive scoop on it. I've been using this one for kind of steady miles, around 7 to 7:30s, down to 6-minute miling. It's been an absolute joy, and it's just very cushioned as well. So when I'm running that 15 miles plus, it's great. It just soaks up the impact, and when I want to pick up the pace a little bit, it does so with ease. No outsole on here. This is part of the midsole material. It is relatively deep to start with, probably done about 300 miles in these. You can see where I'm running my steadier miles, I've been striking the heel. You can see if it's worn a bit more obviously there. Overall, I would say it's been holding up very well. Also, as a super trainer, the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainer V2. There you go, try saying that one when you've ran a marathon. It's a training version of the Elite, the marathon racing shoe. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit more cushioning. It's a little bit more durable as well. You can feel it in the weight compared to the race version. But I've been choosing this one for my faster tempo runs and my speed sessions. So I've put in 10 miles worth of volume in this shoe every week for the last 10 weeks. Fuel cell cushioning, the Energy Arc. Now this is New Balance's carbon plate, runs the full length of the shoe, and you can see we've got these kind of deeper voids in there as well. So what happens is these will splay a little bit. That creates a very stable strike as well. Again, something that I do like. Spreads the forces, but it does work in a slightly different way to a lot of other carbon plates. It's a very noticeable push-off. It's a very positive, balanced kind of ride. It feels nice. I would probably have no hesitation in racing a marathon in this if I didn't have a race shoe at hand. So it could be a very versatile shoe, but the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainer V2 is a very good speed, faster super trainer, shall we say. £210, $220, 287 grams, 10.1 ounces. We've got 40 millimeter stack in the heel, 6mm drop, 34 in the forefoot. Good outsole rubber coverage, nice fit in the upper. Achilles tab flares away, a real nice fit, and a shoe that I've been enjoying a lot in the last few months. Into one of the categories of shoes that I wear most, and that's the support type shoe. And I certainly see from runners coming into my store on a daily basis that the majority, 60% of people, do need a support category shoe. And one of the best in the business is the Glycerin GTS from Brooks. Of course, you've got the Adrenaline GTS as well. And the similarity between the two shoes, the GTS, the go-to support, is the guide rail system. Instead of having a medial post, a firmer section in the arch side, the medial side of the shoe, essentially this piece here and this piece here is an extension of the cushioning. So you see the cushioning just extends up. It's in different colours, it's got these stripes painted on it, but it's the same material as the cushioning. And what that does is, should your foot roll laterally or medially, it just catches it and it keeps it under control. It works very well, and it works for a lot of people. If you exhibit a little bit of lean on one foot and perhaps not the other, it's a very balanced ride. A little bit like the rails, the guide rails at the bowling alley. The ball leans off to one side, the rail catches it and keeps it in. If it doesn't, you roll straight down the middle. And that's the case with this shoe. So it's a very safe all-rounder. Where the glycerin stands out for me is the nitrogen injected foam. Nitrogen, a larger molecule of air, creates a springy and very durable cushioning material. Upper in the glycerin, seamless, engineered mesh, a little roomier than the Adrenaline, but as with Brooks, comes in with fittings, and it's quite an accommodating stretch-like upper, so nice and roomy, and everything about it is plush, nicely padded through the tongue, nicely padded through the ankle collar and into the heel tab as well. Good rubber coverage through the sole. Comes in at £165, $160, 298 grams, 10.5 ounces, so just under that 300. It's by no means a heavy shoe, but it's right in the everyday training category. 38mm stack in the heel, 10mm drop down to 28 in the forefoot. So plenty of cushioning, and just for easy everyday miles, you can't go wrong with this shoe. A runner-up, shall we say, in this category was the Saucony Tempus. Now the Tempus almost falls into the super trainer category because we've got a mix of their foams. A little bit like the Kinvara Pro, you've got the Power Run PB and the regular Power Run foam in the midsole. The regular Power Run material creates a framework all the way around the shoe. There's a little bit more of it on the medial side, and then the Power Run PB foam sits within it, and that creates a very stable carrier unit, but you get the energised ride as well. Snug fit through the midfoot on this one. It's a little bit of an unusual fit, feels very snug around the midfoot and then splays out into the forefoot. That in itself helps the toes spread out and create a bit of natural stability on toe off. No carbon plating here, it is an everyday trainer. Support category, it only finishes second and a close second behind the glycerin because I think the glycerin edges it on terms of durability. That nitrogen foam just seems to outlast everything in terms of shock absorbency and just all-round durability. £165, $160, 252 grams, 8.9 ounces, a little bit lighter than the glycerin, 36.5 stack in the heel, 8mm drop, 28.5 in the forefoot. Good rubber coverage. The Power Run PB material does kind of pick up a little bit of the dirt. It seems to get ingrained in it very easily. It does look like it's very worn, but it isn't. But it's still performing very well. These are a current pair that I'm doing a lot of miles in every week. In the neutral cushion category for the best road running shoes, in my opinion, the Saucony Triumph 21. Not a lot of updates from the version 20, but for me, key updates were the new upper, this flat engineered mesh knitted upper, very plush, just a beautiful fitting shoe. Nice level of padding through the tongue, the ankle collar, the heel tab. The foot just slides in and it feels so plush. The shoe's so welcoming. It's just great. I've been wearing it. The Power Run kind of material does become a little bit scuffed up quite easily. Doesn't detract from the performance of the shoe. Doesn't look too clever. The shoe still feels great and is still running very, very well. It's £170, $160 in the US, 279 grams and 9.8 ounces. 37mm stack in the heel, 10mm drop, 27 in the forefoot. Good rubber coverage, as we've seen on a lot of the Sauconys nowadays. It does look like it's worn, but as I said before, it does pick up a little bit of dirt and grime from the roads. It doesn't detract from the performance one little bit. Just a very plush cushioned ride. In this shoe, the power material, it somehow feels slightly different than in the Speed and the Pro. It soaks up the impact very well. It does have a nice level of kind of energy return and toe off, but it doesn't feel too springy. It's just a very welcoming shoe. And for easy miles, I think Saucony have nailed it absolutely spot on. You can pick up the pace in it, but for everyday easy miles, Saucony Triumph 21. Absolutely fantastic choice. And as with a lot of categories, I'm giving a close second as well, Nimbus from Asics. Why didn't I give this shoe the top choice? Well, it's got lots of cushioning, but it just doesn't have the responsiveness. Now, I know not every shoe does have that responsive feel, but the Triumph has the edge. It just has a little bit of energized feel to it, and it just feels a little bit livelier. Some people won't mind that. Some people will have a nice everyday slow miles kind of shoe, and they will love the Nimbus. It soaks up the impact, and that's it. The upper is a very, very plush upper. It's nicely sculpted through the ankle collar. See that padding in there? It is a really lovely fit. The stretch tongue as well does provide a wonderful fit through there, so it's a really nice fitting shoe. Nimbus is £175, $165, so in the US you're getting a better deal on this shoe. 270 grams, 10.2 ounces, 41.5 stack in the heel, so a great big stack of cushioning. 8mm drop, 33.5 in the forefoot. Good rubber coverage. You can see plenty of miles on these, very little signs of wear. It is a good workhorse shoe, and so it should be, particularly in the UK for this kind of top money. As with a lot of shoes in this selection, we've done more in-depth reviews and videos on them. So check the links and you will find full deep dive videos elsewhere on the site. And when it comes to the best value shoes, I think the Reebok Floatride 5 is one of the best around. The shoe was a real surprise to me. I hadn't tried previous versions. I know a lot of people that had and really loved the shoe. And at £85 or $110, it really is good value. I don't know if you can see the Floatride Energy foam. It is like a lightweight Saucony Triumph, really, almost half the price in fact. So it's a lower stack. It's got 27mm in the heel, 19 in the forefoot, so an 8mm drop, 266 grams and 9.4 ounces. So if you want an entry-level shoe, if you're running 5k 3 times a week, this would be a great shoe for you. It offers a nice, soft, slightly responsive ride. It's not as deep a stack, so you don't have that full kind of super plush ride that you do in a lot of the other shoes, but really good value. The Reebok Floatride 5. Now this is only second because of the price, but if you can afford it, the best value shoe around has to be the Brooks Ghost 15. $140, £135, 286 grams, 10.1 ounces. Now what makes the Ghost such a good value shoe? First of all, great cushioning, great durability, nice coverage of rubber on the sole, seamless upper, flush fit, lightweight, flexible, comes in width fittings, comes in with Gore-Tex options, comes in narrow as well as wide, men's and ladies, lots of colour options. It is suitable for all kinds of people, running, walking, those that simply want a comfortable shoe, those that want a durable shoe, want a waterproof shoe, want a wide fitting shoe, they've got it all. And it works, it goes under the radar. A lot of people think it's a boring shoe, but boring can be good, and in this case it really is. It's one of the best selling shoes in running specialty for a reason. People try the shoe and they love it and they come back time after time. The Brooks Ghost 15 is one of the best value, if not one of the best running shoes around. If you're getting new into running or you simply want a hard-wearing, durable shoe for everyday miles, you can't go wrong. And so that just leaves us the racing shoe category. There have been lots of new shoes this year. I've been fortunate to run in a lot of the carbon races, if not all of them. Still the number one, you've guessed it, Vaporfly 3. This is an improvement on the 2. It is a little bit lighter. It has a little bit more cushioning. Apart from that, it's the same feel. It is very light, 210 grams, 7.4 ounces, £235, $240. It is worn by a lot of the world's top marathon runners. In a shoe count that I did here at the Manchester Marathon in the UK, the #1 shoe was the Vaporfly. And I think if you see a lot of the podiums of marathons around the world, the majority are wearing Vaporfly. It's the shoe that really started it with the Next Percent shoe when Eliud Kipchoge was attempting the 2-hour marathon for the first time, and it's a development of that shoe. And then the shoes split into the Alphafly and the Vaporfly. The Vaporfly, the most versatile option, I think. It's a little lighter, a little less of a shoe, a little less bulky, feels lighter, closer and wrap around the foot. You've got this kind of asymmetric offset lacing. The attention to detail on the shoe, the laces have a kind of slightly notched texture, so when you tie them, they do grip on each other and they stay tied. Light padding through here. It is a nice fit. It kind of doesn't look too well finished, to be honest, but there's no issues at all. One slight issue for me, and this is really slight, you see this seam here? I think you do have to get the laces very flat in there because there's no padding around the ankle collar, so you want a very close fit, or you might find some irritation on a couple of sessions that I've done. I did have to readjust the laces to get it nice and flat, but also a good choice of sock with a little bit of padding around there does help. That's not going to detract from me wearing this shoe though. 2mm higher stack of cushion. We're at 40mm, but we've reduced the thickness of the outsole. Is probably only 1mm thick. You see that it's almost disappearing. Invariably, when you're doing a half marathon, you are going to strike your heel a little bit, and if you're doing some tempo and training sessions, the shoes do seem to wear a little bit. They do catch the road and they do scuff up very easily, particularly because of the lack of outsole there. I do wish Nike would extend this fully around here, but on the medial side of the shoe, the sole starts back here. We could extend that if we want to make it better, but the shoe's all about racing, it's all about speed. So I, like many people, are prepared to make a few little sacrifices for optimum performance. We've got the fly plate in there, Nike's carbon fiber plate, full length. It provides a toe-off like no other, combined with the Zoom X foam, which is very soft and springy. When you're at your best, the shoe performs exceptionally well, and for me, Nike Vaporfly 3, the #1 choice of road racing shoe at any distance for 2023. Hope you enjoyed this selection. Let us know what your favourite shoes of 2023 have been and what you'd like to see reviewed and compared next, and we'll try those shoes. For now, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.